Yes. Carrots, 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 as far as the eyes can see. And what else could we possibly ask for to celebrate the bounty of our lands than the food that the bunnies that we worship eat? And perhaps in eating the carrot, we can become a little closer to our rabbit friends. A little closer, just in time to go ahead and try to commune with them about the ultimate sacrifice we will need to ask them to make, cause it's about time to get our hands on some leather, my friends. It is a difficult time for our village of Downhill One Way, for rumor has it that it is the fear. Oh boy, homeless? Okay, thank goodness. We shouldn't be homeless anymore? Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You aren't homeless. Oh, that's a little much. That's a little much. Apparently, our newest Pip still is not a proper member of our community because she refuses to believe she's not homeless. But darn, that is actually generating a lot of fear every day because she's too scared to share the town hall. I thought upgrading would fix that about. Huh. Well then. That's going to make things a little interesting, but hopefully it will not take our stride away from getting closer and closer to being able to, well, boil some glop for everybody, because that is going to be what will hopefully prevent us from starving. But that fear is getting really out of control really fast, and we don't have anything to generate hope yet. I would appreciate, dear friend, if you could potentially see that actually you're fine. You don't need to do this. Oh my gosh. All right. And we might have her actually be the one. She was raised by the wild rabbits. We may need her to be the one to commune with them about the sacrifice we must ask them to make rather soon here, so she can build her own house at this point, because good gravy, we have room at the like town hall. I guess that just doesn't count. Darn. All right, well, we're going to need to have unfortunately a table of butchers gone ahead and built, and we're also going to need to have our animal herding put up and a bunny inside. All of these things are not very happy things. And so we'll have Ren go ahead and help out by removing this bonfire, since we actually have quite a lead. Yes, quite a lead on whatever cold event might be arriving, according to the tale that the rabbits have warned us of. And then we will have the herding place here, and unfortunately the butcher place will have to go up there. The table of sacrifice shall be built here. And perhaps this newest member of our community shall be the one to man the table of sacrifice, because otherwise we will not be able to get them a home. But the good news is we might have some really good events right around the corner. For the powers of Cataclysm are trying to threaten the village of Downhill One Way, and we're about to show them that we are so flower powered that, like, we probably just leave blossoms in our trail. We probably have trouble with the bees trying to just like crawl over us because we've got so many flowers, or at least so much nature protection. We're totally gonna be fine there, right? Otherwise, we are going to carry on with trying to get close to the glop maker with the help of our druids. We are gathering as many of the carrots of the land as we can, just barely keeping ahead of how much we're eating. We're gathering the wood, all of which that we are going to need. And ooh, cobalt. And we are creating the copper bars that we're gonna need. Yes, we need those copper bars for the cauldron that's going to make our glop, which is going to stretch one vegetable into like 6 or 9, somewhere around there, meals, which is almost enough to feed the entire village. We can just make like carrot stew or carrot soup, because there's not really anything else going into it. It's just carrots and water boiled, and we assume if it's good enough for the bunnies, it's good enough for us. Literally rabbit food. That's kind of funny though. Like, wouldn't rabbit food sort of be something sacred for our villagers? That's kind of adorable. But we are gathering, thankfully, the copper bars that will allow us to do such a thing. And I think I'm going to need to research something to give us hope, or excuse me, we will need to commune with the rabbits to perhaps guide us in a way of hope, because actually we need to do that. Ooh, we're gonna need to do that. Because if we're gonna actually have some of the rabbits pass away, what? That's not as useful as you might think. On the one hand, now there are a bunch of wild sheep staying nearby. On the other hand, this could be a little useful for gaining a little more druidic insight, because now we could count sheep. Eat rabbit food, count sheep, and that is going to apparently help us out a little bit with gaining some wisdom. And if we put one of the tall temples or the like totems, maybe a mixture of rabbit and sheep totem here, then we would be able to go ahead and get a bit more knowledge, like one more a day. Not a lot. Probably better to put our efforts into working on like script writing and stuff. And I mean, technically we could hunt them, but that still wouldn't give us as much as the butcher would. And if we have to sacrifice an animal, getting the most we possibly can out of it is going to be our best bet. Because we can get 5 leather if we go ahead and have like our own personal sacrifice here, and it would only be like 2 if we hunted a wild rabbit or sheep, I think. And I think maybe the sheep are worth more. Let's see. Because that would have to actually be one of the bigger... You would need one of the bigger hunting things, I think. The skinning rack wouldn't work. You'd have to do like one of these, and I'm not going to bother putting the research into making the hunting zones, like the hunting tent and the larger hunting tent. And the big game hunters, I think, is what we would need. I will not bother with that because we have enough things to keep our druids occupied. If I had extra wood and if I had extra time, yes, maybe I would go ahead and allow us to spend a bit of time maybe clearing this out. I can have extra wood though, because yes, we have plenty of heat. So let's see, what should we have our good friend Dino Mans potentially work on? He is our healer. Maybe we can get ahead on the food for just a second with the carrots, or actually the hemp, of course. Dino Mans, plant this, please. We really need to get the hemp going so that we can make sure that we can like carry on swiftly with being, let's see, with being able to gather tons of that to turn into wood later if we need to. There are so many paths and so many directions that our fine village could take. But now that we have gone ahead and we have gathered enough of the appeal of maybe the sun god in this case, who we like, versus maybe the like heat demons? I don't know. I need to come up with a proper mythology that is compelling. Maybe the heat demons are like wasps. They definitely make you feel hot when they sting you. I gotta think about this. Yay! More memory beans jogged! Give me a good event. Give me a good event. Give me a good event. Oh, oh, oh. Nether Hearts. Nether Hearts, how are you? What's going on down here? Hey, hey. Nether Hearts found some food in the forest. They think it belongs to them. The village could gain 10 apples, or 1 pip becomes happy. Oh, give me that happiness. Wait, is nothing... Yes! Wait a second. Did our homeless pip figure it out? Oh, good gravy. If they did, I'm going to be ecstatic. There you go, Nether Hearts. I don't know how you're going to fit like 10 apples in there, but I guess you just got to do what you got to do, huh? Okay. Yay! We're not gaining fear anymore. Thank goodness! Our newest villager finally figured out how to sleep in town hall, which means we can finally go ahead and grant a name to none other than Canis Abel. Canis Abel, welcome back. You were in our last village as well, and I was quite on tetherhooks to see if you would be able to make it or not, since I had eyed up the next name on the list and was like, okay, are we going to be able to get this orphan in here before everything explodes? And we were. How absolutely delightful. All right. Well, now that that is taken care of, we also have our copper bars, which is fantastic. Let's see. Honestly, it's kind of, if we could collect as much food as possible, we can have a couple more pips be born. That would be useful. More useful once we get ahead on the food thing. But we could do that. We really could. What are some of the next things that the rabbits have warned us about prophecy? Cold domain. Ah, okay. Maybe we'll go ahead and start like working on upgrading that bonfire idea. It seems like that is going to actually be a key conundrum that we might need to work with. And maybe we'll even go ahead and get a second bonfire going, gather some stone, get some more wood, and could we welcome in another child right now? Yes, Cobalt Dinomans. Tentatively, grab a carrot, and we are going to consider adding another itty bitty to the village. Slowly and carefully, since we haven't really stored up a lot of food, to say the least. But maybe if we had more hands in the field, we would be able to have more food. I should probably research onions soon. But I mean, it just started turning to autumn, so we should technically be okay. Oh my gosh, it has been so long since we've been able to have babies in this like village. I am quite tickled about that. Huzzah! 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 There we go. Welcome, little one. I might even give you a sibling, perhaps. And now that we have welcomed Canis Abel, raised by rabbits, into our village, we can also welcome in Windfallen again. Windfallen, welcome. You too were in the village of Are We There, You? And I must admit that this too shall be a dangerous endeavor. But I am confident that you will be able to survive, I think. Maybe. Okay, look, those are big promises. Can I just say thank you for having been one of our patrons for so long and making all these adventures possible? And if I can't keep you alive, I'm sorry. All right, and then let's see. If we do have like a cold event coming, definitely want to upgrade our large bonfire. And it does kind of look like a sacrificial area now that we've got like a bonfire up here. We've gone ahead and we've got the poor bunnies, like we've got the little rabbit hutch and a doomed tent. So eventually we might have to turn our efforts towards that. But right now, we're doing all right. All right enough to welcome in one more child? Or is that really pushing it on the food thing? Ah, I think that's really pushing it on the food thing. So let's actually go ahead and gather some more seeds. Excellent, Cobalt Knight, if you could come over, collect up some seeds so we can really get things moving and grooving when it comes to planting more things. Okay, but we are getting there on the carrots, which makes me happy. All right, so far, so good. And yes, I would love to fix this sign, but it's not like we have enough time to do that. We have to stay busy with a little of this and a little of that. Wow, a baby in the village. It has been so long since I have felt confident enough to bring more itty-bitties in. Mostly because I haven't wanted to kill bunnies. Beware! A doom event is coming soon. Prepare for it may be the end of the village. Dun dun dun! Oh, geez. Okay, that's gonna take a little effort. All right, let's get some mining going, actually, if we could. Where's my, oh, there you are. Cobalt Knights, you too can help by angering the Earth God, perhaps, but it will also assist us in gaining, or it should. Uh-oh. Oh no, that's not gonna help us gain more heat. All right, that's a little bit too much of a long-term plan there. If you could start the bonfire, we're about to have a big bonfire over here. Oh, that's gonna be a little bit of a a little bit of a punch in the face if we aren't careful. So let's not take this lightly. I know it seems like it shouldn't be such a big deal, but I'm a little concerned about this whole bonfire thing. So let's put another bonfire temporarily right there. Ah, that's a lot of wood. All right, look, if I'm gonna add a bonfire in, like, I'm gonna put it a little bit away from the village for one, and also somewhere where we might, that's like a good spot for where the rabbits gather, and we could use this as another druid location. For crying out loud. All right, here. And we've made like a huge trail that poor Orbit Dragon. I literally sent Orbit Dragon spinning in a circle. Like, no, build it over here. Oh, never mind, build it here. But I think that that's going to be a good spot for that. Should I have one more? So that'll be 2, 4. I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. Maybe. We have 8 days. Okay, I think maybe that will be okay. Can I take one more person off carrot duty? Silver, if you could gather some stone just to have 1 extra stone prepared for another bonfire, just in case, that would be quite helpful, to say the very least. Woof. I forgot how when Doom decides to doom, it gets a little dark around here. All right, and thankfully the large bonfire has been built, so we will see what kind of triumph we can have against the touch of frost, the chill of winter, and whatever else I need to think carefully about, like how to name this. Yes, the cloth maker is done! Some pips loved these dresses so much they would eagerly wait all day for them to be delivered. They were always blue, of course. And we can also use hemp to turn into cloth. Like, goodness gracious, like, we just need fields of hemp at this point, don't we? All right, and then that means, though, the cauldron! Woo! Okay, it takes 3. Oh, it takes 3 vegetables to make 9 glop. Aww. Aww. Okay, fine. And if we can make porridge with flour and milk, which is... Okay, sheep. You guys may be pretty useful pretty soon here. Just saying. But at least we can finally get the cauldron researched, which is a huge relief. And then... Oh, no, I forgot how we need to train a watcher for this. Okay, well, we'll try to train a watcher for the large bonfire. Oh my goodness. And then Silver, if you could maybe help out with more wood. I wish I had a larger wood stack, but I mean, I guess technically now could be a good time to upgrade for that. Technically. Okay, if you could upgrade that wood stack, we might be able to do like an emergency wood harvest if we need to. Okay. Everything else is a little iffy, and perhaps we are just barely pushing up against the cold threat. In fact, I wouldn't say we're really pushing the threat. We're kind of being tripped by a frosty bite upon our nose. I mean, to be fair, I would trip if somebody bit me on the nose, okay? Maybe this is how we learn how to count sheep, is it's about to get pretty darn cold here. And maybe if we learn how to cuddle sheep, that's how everything becomes better. All right, let's see. Actually, gaining a little bit of heat there. We need 7 more heat. We still need, okay, I think just perhaps we might be lucky enough to be able to make this work. And we need another set of tools so we can have a farmer. I knew that we would need to have some more pips. So don't worry, Windfallen. If you're worried that you won't have something to do when you grow up, boy, do I have some good news for you. We've got plenty and plenty and plenty to keep some helping hands busy with. But all right, everyone, it seems that I would argue we just might be able to potentially hold our ground, or we might have the first Doom event that has some pretty severe consequences. I don't want to say it might be a little close, but it might be a little close. And we will have to see how everything turns out for the village of, oh, Windfallen. Good news, Windfallen. How do you feel about playing with fire? Like, as soon as you grow up, doesn't that just sound very appealing? And we will have to see how the fate of the village of Uphill, or excuse me, no, we're not using that cursed name, how the village of Downhill One Way goes next time. So I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye. Gosh darn it, why do you all have to be so cute? Now I want to keep you. Bah, humbug.